Hey everyone, my name is Bree Workman. In partnership with Master the Game LV, we have brought you Make It, Take It, a show that highlights women and girls who love the game of basketball and have turned their dreams into reality. We get into all things women's basketball and most importantly, how to master your mindset, how to master life, and master the game. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and pass this along to a girl who is chasing her greatness. Here is Make It, Take It. Alyssa Brown is joining us today. She was Arizona's Gatorade Player of the Year and Female Athlete of the Year coming out of Tucson, Arizona. She holds her high school's single-season scoring record at 932 points and is a member of the 2,000-point club. At UNLV, she won 3 conference championships, led her Rebels team in rebounds and blocks. Connection and friendship are crucial to overcome obstacles within sport. Alyssa and I sit and talk about her journey through mental hardships, roles from freshman to senior year, and understanding her own process.
Alyssa, thank you for coming on Make It, Take It. I think a lot of girls are going to really benefit from hearing your story and all the things that you've experienced, from middle school to high school, college, and then now you're on the other side of it. As an adult going through stuff, but I kind of want to go back to high school. So in high school you were Arizona Gatorade Player of the Year, Female Athlete of the Year, 2,000-point scorer, and then going into your freshman year at UNLV, it was kind of starting all over, having to truly earn minutes, and then you went back to starting every game, your junior and senior season. So can you talk about just the process, mindset wise, how did you go? It's kind of up and down, from going to, being that girl, where you come from, and then you go and accomplish something that you really wanted, for yourself, and then you have to kind of start all over, but then you get back to where you were. So how was that?
It was a journey. Looking back at it now, I wouldn't do it any other way. I learned so much as a person, as an athlete, being able to be in all those positions. In the moment, it never felt good. Going from someone who was, that person, that go-to player, to now, on the opposite side of that, it did not feel good. And it took me that whole year to realize, it had a reason, it was a purpose to it. Yeah. And then as I transitioned to more minutes, more playing, more opportunities, I was able to talk to the girls that were now in that position. And I think that was my biggest blessing in disguise. Being able to help my teammates grow and, put stuff into perspective was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, so I think sometimes we're as athletes, we're so focused on the actual game that you're missing all the stuff that you need to learn, like you said, along the way that you needed from that year. You don't need to focus on being the best basketball player right now. You have 4, 5, 6 years to do that. There's stuff about yourself that you have to get better at. So specifically basketball wise though, coming with the challenges, you had, it was 4 of you at your position your freshman year. So can you talk about being competitive but not being that go-to person? How did you continuously go hard in practice and still want to get better and not let it defeat you, even though it probably was a struggle? What did you do for yourself in those moments?
I had to realize that there's other ways to make impacts. For me, that first year, it was making my teammates better, doing the scout correctly, still working on my game, but pushing my teammates to be better, because they were the ones seeing the court. So for me, that was the biggest thing I had to adjust to, that it wasn't people pushing me, it was me pushing other people.
Yeah, and that's, honestly a blessing, like you said, because you have a moment to not have to be the person that steps up and does everything all the time. You can actually take your time and learn, the more you're trying to help your teammates, it actually helps you in return. So yeah, that's good insight. Okay, so next one is hero hardship highlight. So we do a game where you talk about who's a hero in your life, what's a hardship or a challenge that you've been through, and then what's a highlight in your life. So I'll go first so you can kind of think about yours. So a hero in my life, I have a few. I feel like I've been blessed, God has blessed me with some really good people in my corner. So a hero for me would definitely be one of my coaches from college, Calamity McIntyre. She was really instrumental in my process when I was struggling, in college, not really knowing where I was, like mindset wise. Like I didn't really know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going through. Like I was just struggling with off the court stuff. And she really helped me along the way, and I feel like that's what girls need right now. I mean, we always have, but I feel like more than ever right now, just with the landscape of like how things are in social media and everything, like we need mentors that are going to be there for us and kind of like give us harsh truths that we have to look in the mirror, because I think that she's very honest. And even though it took me a while to come around to what she said, like you need the people that's gonna like plant a seed, and that later, you know, will grow, and like you'll be like, okay, like I see what she said or he or she said, and now you can kind of like figure it out yourself. A hardship in my life, I would say my injuries. I've had 4 knee surgeries, so, and that's from, I had 2 in high school and then 2 in college, and so it's been a long road, like getting my body right. And it's just like a constant thing, even now, like as an adult, like you have to work out, you have to continuously like do rehab to make sure your body is where it needs to be. So that was a hardship for me. And then a highlight in my life, I would say having my son. He's almost 2, and he's definitely like a light for sure. Like every room he goes into, he has a big personality. He wants to like give everybody a pound and like talk to people, and like, yeah, he's definitely the biggest blessing of my life, for sure.
Ooh, it's hard to follow up. I say hero, I guess similar to you, I had an assistant coach that, you know, from day one, even when I wasn't playing, you know, she was always in my ear, you know, telling me good job, talking to me about, you know, family stuff that was going on, anything. Makes you so emotional. Her name was Carly Bird. She's currently at Portland State as a head coach, so super proud of her.
Yeah,
you know, we're still in contact today, so just being able to, you know, rely on her, you know, as a, you know, position of authority. Like she's always, you know, in my corner, you know, seeing her. So I'd say she's definitely a hero, especially when I was struggling my freshman year. What was it, hardship?
Yeah, hardship and then highlight.
Ooh. I say hardship, just like battling mental illness, just depression. I'd say my freshman, sophomore year, but like, you know, still able to show up for myself and other people. Now looking back on it again, being able to, you know, help people reflect on it and, you know, grow. I think in the aspect, you know, I went through hard times, but, you know, I still came up on top. So super blessed to be able to have gone through that and learned more about myself. Highlights? I would say my teammates. Just the 4 years I had at UNLV, I had really great teammates every year, honestly. A lot of them were the same teammates, but, you know, they're lifelong friends, and I love all of them to death. So
yeah, I mean, you had 5 years, right? 4 years. So I mean, those are going to be the people that you have like for the rest of your life.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next I want to talk a little bit about your like vision, purpose for yourself. So let's go to, you know, you graduated in high school and deciding on UNLV. Like, why UNLV? Why Coach Lindy LaRock? Like, tell me a little more.
Why UNLV? I think my vision for myself was to make it out of Tucson. A lot of our basketball, like it's a pipeline to stay in state, and I wanted to be someone who didn't. You know, I wanted to leave, especially, you know, being one of the few basketball players that, you know, win Division I coming out of Tucson. So like that was just my vision. That was my goal. I didn't really care where or anything like that. I just wanted to get out of Tucson, you know, put Tucson on the map. UNLV, you know, I loved my relationship with Lindy. She wasn't the initial point of contact for me, but, you know, transitioned to, like, we were talking every day. She called me every day to check on me, like would call me when I was at working, like anything. So we had really good conversations, and for me, you know, she felt like home. My mom, you know, she loves her, she trusts her, like, you know, she's a second mom to me. So my parents were super comfortable with, like, I was 17 at the time, so I was gonna be in Vegas by myself, living on my own. So it was like a big trust thing for me. Again, like Lindy, she's been a huge factor in my life as an adult now. Like, I've had to come to her with some big decisions, and she's helped me out. You know, I'm about to play professionally. She helped me with that opportunity. So, you know, overall, I'm glad I chose Lindy.
Yeah, I think, you know, not just assistant coaches, because usually it's the assistant coaches that are reaching out to you and you have a relationship with, and sometimes you miss the opportunity to really connect with your head coach because it's just so much going on during the season, and they have so much stuff that they have on their plate. So usually you just have that mentor and the assistant coaches, but being able to connect with Lindy in that way, and like now having her, I feel like even like when it comes to basketball, like you guys have you know, that understanding. So when things do get hard, you kind of work it out together. Like you figure it out. But can you talk a little bit about the recruiting process and just like some things that girls should be focused on?
I'd say like focus on you. For me, I had a lot of outside noise, you know, she should go here, you know, this is a better program, stuff like that. And for me, it was more like
was that
the
from
people,
like family?
Family, from just like, I was one of the only, a lot of the girls that were in my class had moved to Phoenix. So I was the only girl really still in Tucson going through this like process. So for me, it was like, what do I want to do? And like, what can I do? So it was like dialing out the noise was the biggest thing. I had some unreasonable criteria.
Like what?
Like I hate snow. I couldn't go anywhere where it snowed. And I was like, I get cold anything under like 75 degrees. Like it was like, I can't do snow. I wanted my own bathroom, like just like
no, that's a real like, one too. You never know.
Like I have like 3 siblings, so I'm done sharing a bathroom. I didn't want to do it. Just like it had to make sense for me. The money was like a big thing. Like, I was gonna be 17 on my own. I didn't want to have to ask my parents for help. Again, my relationships with the coaches was like a huge part. You know, they made sure that they reached out to me constantly. And so like those were kind of like my criteria, and other people's is different. Like now it's NIL and all that stuff, and it's really about the money and stuff like that. But for me, it was that, and then the fact that Vegas is a 6-hour drive from Tucson. Like my mom made every home game, maybe with the exception of like 2 or 3. But like just that ability to go home when I wanted to was huge.
Yeah, that was kind of the same for me. So I went to high school out here, of course, but then I played at the U of A. So obviously we had that connection because we were in Tucson and training, you know, with the same people. Shout out Coach Jamal and Coach Rose. And so, I think like my mom pretty much got to every single one of my games at Tucson. And whenever I just needed a break, it was super easy to just drive back here and just like chill for the weekend. So those are really good points about, you know, things to think about. What does success in basketball look like to you?
I would say winning. You know, winning just, it feels good to know all your work is getting you to where you want to go. But also, I think just the impact that I was able to have on the people around me, on the crowd, on, you know, the coaches, on my teammates was what it felt like to me.
Yeah, going to UNLV games are always dope because, I mean, it's just like hometown favorites. Like even though obviously the Aces are here and everybody goes out, you know, they go hard for the Aces. The Knights, like, you know, and then they had the G League team here for a little bit. So all those teams are great, but UNLV, like basketball games, always lit. So I agree with that one. And you guys were so good, like with being interactive with the crowd and like being in the community and stuff like that. And I would agree. I think success is also winning, but I think it's like happiness for me. Like at the end of the day, no matter what I do, like I want to be happy with where I'm at and like who I'm around every single day. So for me, that's kind of like what success looks like. And then obviously on top of that, like I can count on one hand how many times like I've really lost. Like as far as like high school goes, in college I had a little bit of a different experience, but you know, winning is still like who I am in my core. Like that's kind of like how I was brought up. Like that's my nature. So
true athlete.
Exactly. So I can never just be like, oh, I don't care about the wins. That would be a lie.
It feels good. Like it's like all your work, you know, is coming to fruition. Like you know, that's what you want.
So what are some areas you struggled with in college, and like how did you overcome those?
I'd say not being so hard on myself. Like again, like, you know, we were brought up to be winners. Like when we didn't win or stuff wasn't going our way, like it was so easy to be negative. So for me, that was something like I struggled with and had to overcome, and like still struggle with. Like I want to be the best at everything.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular like you'd be able to share or tell girls, or like encouragement on like how to get past it? Like was it something more internal within yourself you had to figure out, or did you have people that helped you?
I would say my best friend, my point guard, Kara Jackson, she helped me a lot. I just realized that, you know, like it was our senior year, we lost in our tournament that we had won the last 3 years. So like for us, it was like, dang, you know, it was our senior year. But then we like sat down, reflected, like we done some stuff that people haven't done.
Absolutely.
Which was
a lot.
So we you know, we talk about it a lot, and it's like cool to see, like, you know, our friendship has grown so much on and off the court, and it's just like, count your blessings. Like sometimes you gotta sit and count them.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, put all your rings, all the things that you guys have done in, like you said, in 4 to 6 years. I mean, people don't even get half of like what you guys accomplished. And not to say that like it wasn't difficult, definitely. I think because of the conference you guys play in, sometimes people act like it's like easy, like you don't play competition, but it's hard to win a championship. Like that's not easy, and to do it multiple times, like that is definitely hard. So do you feel like you've discovered your purpose yet?
I think a little bit. I do want to inspire and, you know, help the next group of athletes come up. I've had, you know, our fan base at UNLV that still reach out to me. You know, they're young girls trying to find their way. And for me, like, I think just being able to impact them and help them is, you know, what I want to do.
Yeah, I think for me too, like that's kind of a part of the reason why I started the nonprofit, is because, you know, girls just need guidance, like, and you doing everything that you did at UNLV, they're like, oh, I want to be like Alyssa, you know? So it's super special. And then what kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Now you can do it from anywhere, you know, from a small town to a mid-major, like it doesn't matter, you can do it anywhere. And I think that's what I kind of want to leave behind.
Yeah, I think sometimes girls get caught up in like this Division I or just like not just being the best, but kind of like what it looks like. So even if like the name of the school isn't that big, like some girls just care. Like I want it to be like a top school, which is understandable. But I mean, as long as you're the best where you're at, like coaches always used to say, like my mentors would just say, like be great where your feet are planted, like whatever that is. Because if you're great, let's say, I don't know, you for some reason you're going JUCO, whether it's for, you know, to improve your grades, or maybe you just need a little bit more development. If you're great in that space, I think it comes down to like building relationships and mentorship.
100%.
Yeah, because I mean, basketball is going to stop at some point, and the relationships that you like cultivate over time, like those are going to be the things that stick with you. So it really doesn't matter like what level you're at. You can be great and end up, you know, in the WNBA.
And you never know. Like I've gotten so many opportunities to meet people that like I wouldn't have met if I went to another school. Like at UNLV, we cared so much about being in the community. Like I've been put in some crazy opportunities and positions. And I would have never thought, you know, I would be able to do it in Vegas.
Yeah. What's like someone that you met that you were like, whoa, like I just talked to this person, like.
A lot. Like I have made friends with like NBA players from like summer league, just like the city. And when I made my decision, I wasn't thinking about that. And just being here, like I've been around summer league for 4 years. I was able to help with the Super Bowl host committee. Like I've been able to help club teams and put on tournaments here where I'm like, I didn't know I wanted to do that. Now I do. So it's But I'd say like I have met numerous people.
Yeah, and it helps you just like expand into other things. Like you're like, oh, like I'm not just good at basketball. Like I can do so many other things. So the next thing we have is the truth behind the grind. So it's a card game. You have a couple cards here, and you're just gonna read them off, and then we're both gonna answer the questions.
What's something you had to give up to pursue basketball at this level? Easy. I think family vacations. Basketball is a year-round sport, and I don't think we ever were somewhere where someone wasn't playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's the hardest thing. I mean, having no time for yourself. It's like, and it's so weird because when you do graduate and then you do have time to pick and choose, you're like, well, what do I do? Like, I don't know what's going on. But I think since I like have my own family now, and you know, like I coach now, I'm kind of able to make my own schedule. So I feel like I'm still like year round, but you can be a little bit more strategic on like prioritizing. Because when you're young, it's like you don't have to do those things. Everything's already given to you. It's like, nope, just be here. And
What do you do when you're not having fun in your journey? I'd say I'm with friends. I think I faced that a lot. Like my junior year, there was a time where like basketball just wasn't fun for me, and like I would grab my friend Kara and we would go to the gym and like shoot around just for fun, like not with a goal, not with a purpose, just shooting half court shots, like stuff like that, and it got fun again.
Yeah, I think that friendship piece like is the biggest thing. Because for me, this was like my sophomore year. I went through a period where I was definitely depressed, and 3 of my best friends like on the team, they were like, what's wrong with her? And I would never share anything like about myself. I'm just very private. and they figured out ways to get me out of the apartment. Like, they'd be like, we're going here, like, we're going to get something to eat. Even if it was just like going to Waffle House or something, they'd be like, come, because they know I want to eat. I'm like, I'm not turning that down. So having friends, like people that care about you and want to see you happy is a big deal, because they done just enough to get me out to where like I could do the rest from there. So I'm very appreciative, for that.
When did you first fall in love with the game? I would say probably my freshman year of high school. I think up until then I was kind of doing it just 'cause my sisters did it, and it was like a family thing. And then after that I was like, I actually do like being in the gym like this. I do enjoy like just everything that comes with the game, the relationships, actually just playing. And I think that's when it started to click for me.
So are you the youngest?
Youngest girl. I have one younger brother and 2 older sisters.
Okay, yeah, so definitely a family thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same for me. My dad played professionally in the league, and then he was a referee after he stopped playing, and then my brother played too. So everyone just used to be like, oh, you're gonna be like your dad or your brother. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm gonna go be a cheerleader. Like, that was my whole thing. And most of my friends, like, that's what they were doing at the time too. Like, they were either dancing or like competitive cheer or something like that. And then eventually we moved from Indianapolis, that's where I'm from originally, and we moved from there to here. And I think having that separation like gave me an opportunity to just have basketball for myself, and I didn't have to like share it with anybody else. And that's when I kind of like fell in love with it.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment you almost quit? Yeah. Quite a few. Again, like, I think my junior was just like the hardest year for me mentally. It was like that transition from like not having expectations playing or maybe it was my sophomore year, like not playing a lot, to now having like a role, and it's like, I need you to do this, and I'm like, I feel like I'm failing. Yeah. Like there was a game I told my coach I didn't want to play. Like, I was ready to quit.
Yeah. So what got you through that?
My teammates.
The hump? Yeah.
I'm all emotional. Not that. I think my teammates, like, I just wanted to play for them. Like, it turned into like me doing it for them and not for me.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I'm like, such a crier. Like, they're gonna see this and be like, oh my god, I'm such a crier, and they know it.
Well, you need that. Like, the teammates, like who you're around every single day really impacts like how you feel about yourself. And most people try to act like you can just like do it on your own, or like you shouldn't allow other people to impact how you are on the daily. But if you have some good people around you, I'm like, you can really,
you want to do it for them. Like, it's a good thing. Like, looking back, I'm glad that I loved my teammates that much.
Yeah. It'll be so crazy, like, when you guys get older and you just start experiencing other things, like having kids or like marriage and like going to weddings and stuff, because those really are like the people that you're just gonna have for the rest of your life. So I love that for you. I'm glad you had that experience. Let's go to the opposite one. Who's one person who has believed in you when things got hard?
I would say my dad. I think he's my hardest critic, but he knows that, like, if I'm at a low, he knows like what to say to me. I think he's like always had like the vision that I was gonna go D1. So, like, I think it started as his vision, and I kind of took it from him. But he's always believed that I should be at this level.
Yeah. For me, who's one person? I definitely say my mom. My mom is like, if she feels like I'm down, like, she's gonna tell me about myself.
Yeah.
And she's gonna hype me up. And she's like, girl, do you know who you are? Like, she'll say a whole thing, and I'll be like, all right, like, I know, like, okay. So, yeah, definitely my mom. She is like never gonna let me fall. Like, that's just, how she is. I mean, all moms, but yeah.
All moms.
For sure.
Last one. Give a coach advice on how to connect with players of today. I would say just care. I guess it sounds so simple, but like, I felt like at UNLV, Lindy cared so much about us. And like, we were at her house for dinner. We were like, she was always checking on us. She would FaceTime us, like, and like at first it used to be scary. Like, why are you? Like, am I doing something I'm not supposed to be doing? But she'd just like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, she has 2 kids now, and she'd be like, oh, they want to say hi, like stuff like that. And it was just like, she cares about us as people and wants us to be better, and it like translated on the court too. Like, then we wanted to play harder for her.
Yeah. What what was her coaching style like?
Uncomfortable. I think she pushed us to like the point where we just were mad. Like we would be like, I can't do it. Like she'd be like, no, like you're gonna do it. Like there's no option. You're gonna do what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah.
And then like it would click later. And then it's like, oh, but she always made sure to like make sure we felt good after. She tell us we need to do something, and then like you're such a good player. Like you can do it. Like, and it was like inspirational, but in the moment like it didn't feel good usually.
Yeah.
But
it's like I don't want to hear this right now.
Like I just messed up the drill 4 times. Like I don't want to hear that. Like I can do it. Like
yeah.
I can't right now, but I think that was her like tough love for sure.
Yeah. So I kind of want to go to injuries. Like I know how had a knee injury. How have injuries impacted your journey? Like what have you learned from that?
I learned that rehab is super important. Like even when you think an injury's done, it usually isn't. Yeah. I did have a knee injury my sophomore year that was out for like 2 weeks with a strained MCL with like a partial tear. I was in a brace for a little bit. I had countless ankle injuries. Countless. They're
Once you mess up your ankle one time, it's like it just keeps happening over and over.
And it's like, one day here, 2 days, like it was just, I think that I learned how important it is like to take care of your body just continuously, even if you feel good, like just to continue to always try to feel good. I think that was what I learned from my injuries.
Yeah, I feel like I fell in love with it eventually, but at first it was just like I don't really want to do this. But the more time I spent and actually felt the difference, like when I stopped, I'm like, oh, like my body hurts, like it's just so you think like working out more would make you feel pain, but actually it relieves the pain.
The after part.
So I just fell in love with like working out and different things like that, but it was definitely something that happened over time. It wasn't like immediately. So you mentioned playing overseas, like you have an opportunity to go play overseas. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that for you. You said Germany,
yes.
Right? So tell me a little bit about that. Like, did you know you wanted to play after college? And I know, in the meantime, like you've been using your degree like in finance. So like what brought you to wanting to play overseas?
I think after my last game, I felt like I wasn't done playing. So I sat with myself for a little bit. Me and my best friend talked a lot. She's also going overseas, so we talked a lot, like back and forth, like, hey, what do you actually want out of it? And I think we both came to the conclusion, like, we're not done playing. Like, we still can play, so we're going to. Like, it's a great opportunity. For me, like, I've had so much work experience that's like one of those, like, do you still love the game? Like, do you want to go?
Yeah.
And the answer was yes. So then, Lindy gave me a great agent that's been helping me kind of navigate that. She as well has been helping me navigate that. So then now, and I signed a contract with Germany to play starting in September. So super excited.
Wow. Yeah. So what are you most excited about?
Well, I've never really been out the country. I went to Canada on like a 3-day trip, but never been on like that side of the world. So to be able to experience that, essentially for free. Like everyone loves Germany, so I'm super excited about just the location. Yeah. So I'm excited that and just to keep playing.
Yeah. And so I think playing overseas is just like the amount of people that you meet and the culture and like everything, like it's like I didn't have opportunity to go play just because I had too many injuries, like I didn't want to. But going back now, because like my boyfriend plays, so I can still like get out there and still go. Yeah. I feel like it's something that everybody should do. Like just to see other cultures, eat other food, like because then you'll see like going to other countries, like how they eat so much better than we do.
That's what I've heard.
And the ingredients, like you're just like, oh, this doesn't taste the same. Like because that's how it's supposed to taste. Like what we eat is not that great all the time. But yeah, I'm excited about seeing you play overseas and kind of just seeing where your journey goes from there. You mentioned getting into like finance. So how has that been too? Like during your break, kind of going into career.
I mean, it's been good getting a taste of it. I think I do want to gear back to like athletes. Just seeing the athlete side of everything, like how much people don't know about finance, and then like with NIL just blowing up in the sports world, it's like we need some education on it. So I think eventually I want to turn the tables around and help people that were in my position as someone who's gone through it. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. One thing I would say to you, kind of have going through like the same thing a little bit, I think that like start it now. I feel like a lot of players put it off until later because it's like, okay, well, I have to focus on basketball right now because I want to be great where I'm at. But basketball is always going to set you up for what you want later. So if you have an opportunity to like create something, like you're going to be around players overseas, like take that opportunity to ask them what they need, or like ask them how their financials are, and then kind of like figure out a plan and figure out how to give them a resource that maybe you don't have to like stay attached to all the time, but you could just like give out, you know, like it's just like start building your brand of that. Because you know, when the game is over and you're done, it's like, all right, well, I've already been like working towards this, and then the transition is a lot easier because transitioning from being done playing like officially, it's hard.
Well, just that little 2-week stretch where I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I was like, I'm lost. Like that's the only thing. Like I don't know, no structure. Like it's just so different not being an athlete all the time.
It is, and the culture is different. Like I tell everybody, like basketball world is not the real world.
Not at all.
At all. I'm like in college, and I love it because they want to give you a special experience that you're probably not like never gonna get again. So I understand it, but at the same time, it's like you get a menu sent to you for what to pick, for meals, and like that's all you have to do is just be like, oh, I have this, and or just like write it down on a sheet of paper, and they bring your meals to you. We get it like pre-games at the hotel. It's in a conference room. We don't have to like make the effort to go anywhere, or you know. So and I love it. I get the reason why, but when that stops,
hurts a little bit.
Just not getting massages. I think about that all the time. I really wish I could just go back into the training room sometimes and just get treatment and just sit in there for a couple hours and just get in the cold, I don't know, just get in the cold tub, in the hot tub, and just go back and forth. Like those things, it's just like you don't think about.
You hated it in the moment, like having to go to something that like wasn't a game was just like, But now it's like I miss the cold tub, I miss the needling, I miss all.
I'm like, I need that stuff now because now I'm old. So the next game we're gonna play is Myth or Truth. So it's just like some typical phrases that people say within sport or basketball, and we're gonna say if it's a myth or truth. So the first one is teammates must be friends to be a good team.
I say truth.
Truth. Okay. Tell me why a little bit before I give mine. I think it's a myth. But
I think like we had such success on the court because we were such a close group. Like we were all best friends. We played so hard for each other. We talked. You know, sometimes it felt like coaches versus players. Like it happens, but we were just so like tight that we're like, you know, it doesn't matter what they're gonna say. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna play hard. Like we're gonna get through this. And I think it just made us a better team.
Yeah, I would agree. I think both. So I agree with what you said. I also think like when you're mature, you don't always have to be friends with the people that you play with. You just have to understand the goal and what you're getting to. Because my experience, in which I mean, it's probably why we didn't win very much in college. We were not very connected in that way. And we had some really good players when I was there, but we just couldn't really like get over that hump. But I feel like beyond all the like messiness sometimes, we were actually pretty professional. Like if people knew what was going on, they'd be like, oh, I never would have guessed. Like if you can find like some maturity to just like make it about basketball, I feel like you can like put stuff to the side like for the common goal. Because everybody's here for basketball, like outside of the personal stuff. So yeah, I think that's like a both.
So
next one is basketball is all mental.
You said all.
80%, 85% mental.
I'm gonna go with truth for that too. I think just like once your mental starts to decline, or if you're just on the right headspace, like it makes basketball so much harder. Like you can be the most skilled player, but it's like if you're telling yourself you're not a good player, you're not gonna play well. So I'm gonna go with the truth.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think and anything can impact that. I feel like it could be off the court something. Somebody could say something to you on the court and you just don't like the space you're in. Like, it could be anything. So, yeah. And going from, like, middle school, having to navigate that, like, at a younger age, you don't really know who you are yet. And then getting into college and then think you know. And then, no. You get, like, slapped in the face with all these other things that you weren't expecting. And so, yeah, I just feel like that's where like basketball mirrors life mirrors basketball. I feel like basketball reveals who you are. That's why it's mental. I feel like it just reveals the things that you need to like improve on, because it's hard. Next one is basketball can be lonely sometimes.
I'll go truth as well.
Yeah.
I think there's just like parts of my career where I felt like I was alone, but no, in reality I probably wasn't, but it does feel like that at times.
Yeah, I can say from my experience, like I'll share, I think I was lonely sometimes, just like when you're on a team and you are so connected and then like something isn't going right and you're like not in a great space, but then you also have that side to where you give everything to basketball. So when things aren't going right, then it's just like your whole life's not right, because it's not like you have like space to go and spend with your family, unless you're like in a, like, you know, unless you're playing where you grew up or something like that. Like you don't have your family to get away from it. You don't have, like, you're just like in it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to be bothered with it, so then you isolate yourself, and then it just kind of like feels lonely. So I would definitely agree with that. The next one is hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
True. Hands down.
Yeah.
I say hands down. I mean, I've seen like really talented players, like just with no work ethic, like get beat by someone who's probably half their talent.
Yeah.
Just from like the grit and dedication and discipline it takes to be a hard worker. Like I'd say hands down, that's true.
Yeah. If you had to choose, would you rather be more talented or have more work ethic?
I think work ethic.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah.
There's a book that I read often. I kind of like go back and use it as reference. It's called Talent Isn't Enough. It's a really good book, and they have a workbook like that goes with it. But it's pretty much talking about like all the ways that you need to be like have talent in other areas. Like just your skill and what you were born with isn't enough to be like the best version of yourself. You have to have all these other things. And yeah, it's a really solid book.
I'll have to
So
check it out.
yeah.
Sounds good.
And then the last one is pain is temporary.
True.
I think this one's a myth a little bit.
You think?
A little bit.
I say back, I just think of like the dark times that I've been through, and like I've made it out every time. So I would say like it's not gonna feel good. Like injuries, like, you know, they heal, stuff like that. Like, I just think it's temporary as long as you go about it the right way.
Yeah, and that's where my myth comes in. Because I think sometimes coaches don't go about it the right way. Sometimes you don't go about it the right way. And I feel like a lot of things that players go through, just kind of like being pressured to play, or they don't listen to their body like when they should take time, and it actually hurts them in the long run when you could have played longer, but you wanted to play right now, and like you need to just wait a little bit, and you know. So I think that pain can turn into long term if you don't handle it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay, so to wrap it up, we're going to play a rapid fire game. It's called Player, Coach, Fan. Okay. I'm gonna give you 3 people, and you have to tell me who would be your teammate, who would be your coach, and who would be like your fan in the stands cheering you on.
Okay.
All right, so round 1, Don Staley, LeBron James, and Candace Parker.
I think I would want Dawn as a fan, because I would feel like really respected as like I would.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard actually. I'm gonna say Dawn as a coach actually. I think just the expertise, like her being on the coach's side already, such a successful coach. I would want LeBron as a teammate, super dominant. It explains itself. And then Candace as a fan. I would feel so like highly if she was a fan of mine.
Yeah.
So.
Candace has been going in on them right now. Like all her interviews, she's like, yeah, let me be honest.
Like, if she liked me, then I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing something right.
Yeah. Okay, round 2 is Taylor Rooks, Beyonce, Mariah the Scientist.
I'm gonna go Beyonce as a coach. I feel like she's like
Me
gets
too.
it done.
Me
she
too.
Gets it done.
Boss.
Taylor Rooks as a teammate.
Oh, okay.
Mariah the Scientist as
a fan. Okay. And the last round is, this is the funny one. Kiara, your mom, Coach LaRock?
I think I'm gonna keep them as their original, their original right now. Their status. I would Coach LaRock as Coach LaRock. Kara is my teammate. My mom is a fan.
Okay, so I guess that
they're
was a
good.
little
They're
easy.
good. They're good where they're at.
Yeah. So, what is one thing before we get out of here that you would have wanted to know, kind of in your process, trying to be elite and wanting to play basketball at the highest level?
Embrace the hard trainings, the transition from being in high school to a college athlete, embracing the hard decisions, like having to pick, is it really worth it? And I would just say enjoy it.
Yeah. So, sorry, I want to go into embrace the hard. How do you embrace the hard?
I like to reflect on why am I really doing it? I'm going overseas not just for me, but to be able to have this experience for other people, to come back and be able to tell people you can do it. I think that's what's going to motivate me the most to deal with the difficulties over there is to be able to come back and share my experience with people that might not get that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, stay tuned for the next episode of Make It Take It. Send this to a girl who is learning how to master her mindset, master her life, and master the game.